We're going to be changing oil on a Kubota M6800. So I've already pulled the drain plugs, and on this one and probably most of the large Kubotas, and maybe some of the small ones, there are two, probably just four-wheel drive, maybe because the drive shaft kind of splits the oil pan. But there are two drain plugs, and don't just drain one. I mean, a lot of oil came out of that one, but then when I did that one, probably another half gallon or so, maybe more than that, came out of this one. So make sure you do both plugs, drain both plugs. Get you a 5-gallon bucket or whatever. See what your capacity is on this one. It's around 12 quarts, not quite 12 quarts, US quarts. And pretty self-explanatory as far as changing oil, if you've ever changed oil before. But warm up the engine first, and then because oil flows better when it's a little warm, and then kill the engine, set your brakes and all that. And I've got plenty of room under this. This is pretty high, that the 5-gallon bucket is about 6 inches away from the the drain plugs. So plenty of room under here. But as soon as it quits dripping, then I will pull the filter. Filter is on the side. Filter is here on the side. That is a fuel filter there, water separator there, oil filter there. And on the other side is the fill, the dipstick and the fill port to put oil in it. So pull the old filter. I had to loosen mine with a old filter wrench. Empty it out, and it'll be full of oil. It'll be pretty heavy, full of oil and particulates. That's what you're left with. You want to make sure that the gasket on the filter that's coming out is not torn, because if it is, then you may have left a piece of gasket on the engine block there, on the plate, the mounting surface. And so anyway, the best practice would be to come in here and just make sure you don't feel any old gasket material. Make sure it's slick, and that the new filter is going to press up against it good and solid. So here's the new filter, and it is Kubota. Yes, Wix and others make a comparable filter, but you know, when you're looking at a $30,000 tractor and it's got a $10,000 motor in it, you know, do you really want to save $2 or $3 on a filter, or $5 or $10? They're not cheap. Anything you get at the dealership ain't cheap. Unlike any other oil change, get just a little oil on your finger and run around the gasket of the new filter to lubricate it. It just helps it seal better. Everybody and their brother says do it, so they know what you're talking about. And then we'll reinstall that filter. And like I said, I had to use a wrench on this one, so I got a little, either I was working out more last time or something. I'm gonna go, it just hit snug. I'm gonna go about another quarter turn. That's hand tied, that's about a half. Here's the oil, again, bought it at Walmart. 1540 heavy duty diesel engine oil. You use oil designed for a diesel. This was about at 30 bucks for 2.5 gallons. It'll take not quite 2 of them. I think I take about 11.3 quarts. So I'll have some left to top it off if I ever need to, but so far hadn't burned a drop, hadn't leaked a drop. 700 hours on the tractor. Kubota. We'll start filling it up, and again, since the loader is in the way, it's difficult to get to. I like these little snaky fillers, funnels. You have to kind of work it in there. So I put the required amount of oil in it. We'll crank it up. I'll make sure the throttle is down. Don't want it idling up too fast till the oil gets up into the engine. And the oil light's gonna come on for a few seconds after it's cranked. Let's give it a shot. Oil light goes off. The engine quietens down. 702 hours. We let it circulate a little bit, kill it, check the oil, make sure. Okay, oil's in. I've cranked it. Let's check the dipstick. I added that little bit. Hey, you can't get much better than that. There's the mark, and I'm less than 1/4 of an inch away from the mark. I'm good, and that's the full mark. So, it's basically the same as changing the oil in a car. However, a tractor's pretty big and intimidating, so don't let it intimidate you. It's easy to do. Make sure when you pour the oil back in it, you have put the plugs, the 2 oil plugs, or if you're on a tractor that only has 1, the oil plug in place, back in place. Make sure you have put the filter back on, the new filter. How do I know that? Well, in my youth and inexperience, I left plug out one time and I was just putting oil in top of it and oil was just running out the bottom of it because I was young and stupid. Now I'm just old and stupid. Anyway, changing oil. We did it. Looks good.